What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, live to discuss breaking news in the NFL, breaking news from the New York Jets. Just as the NFL gets a little dull and boring at this time of the year, boom, we have big news to discuss. That is Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams has requested a trade from the New York Jets. And we've heard kind of rumblings and reports and rumors about Jamal Adams over the past, I want to say multiple seasons. Not just this past year, but multiple seasons that Jamal Adams could be on the move. Jamal Adams could be traded, and it would take the right price, but he can be had. And now Jamal Adams is fed up. He's like, you're not going to pay me. I'm done. This team isn't going anywhere. At least I don't think so. I'm going to try and go somewhere where I think I can perform at a high level. I can be recognized for the talent that I am, and I can be put in a system that will allow my talent to flourish, and I will win games and Super Bowls potentially. And that's exactly what it looks like, the place or places that Jamal Adams could go. So in this live reaction and video, I'm going to discuss the trade destinations for Jamal Adams, the few places that he has requested to go, and any of the other ones that could potentially be out there for Jamal Adams, teams that make sense salary-wise, pick-wise, win-now-wise, because Adams will need that contract, and even if he doesn't get the contract, you're going to have to maximize his window within that space. So it's most likely going to be teams that are looking to win now or are looking to make a run right now. And also any of the questions you have regarding Jamal Adams, the Jets, anything surrounding this situation. I'm not going to dive into anything else right now, but just this situation independently because it's an important situation. It's a star player. Jamal Adams, for those of you that don't know, hopefully you do know if you're not living under a rock, he's arguably the best safety in the league. In my opinion, he's probably the best safety in the league. And when you look at Jamal Adams, what can't he do? I mean, this guy is elite at every area you need to be an elite safety. And he can cover well in man or zone, specifically man on guys like tight ends and running backs. And he could play deep safety. He could play in the box where he's special. He's incredible versus the run in coming up and making a tackle, making a play behind the line of scrimmage. And he is one of the best blitzers and rushers I've ever seen for a defensive back. So he has a complete game all around that is special. So before I do get into some of the comments and what people are saying right now, Gronk spike the like button, guys, for this live stream and for this discussion. Let's take a look at the teams that Adam said that he would like to go to as a part of this trade. So let's just share the screen real quick and check this out. All right. So according to Twitter, according to Adam Schefter, here are the 7 teams to which the Jets Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams would welcome a trade. So the Ravens are one of them. The Ravens are a team that everybody knows are an AFC contender. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And I don't know if they necessarily need a safety, but again, these are the teams that Adams said he would like to be traded to. But I do feel like the Ravens, they're a team that definitely are in play for trades. They're always aggressive. They're always looking to improve. And it's not like they really have a for sure stud at strong safety, so that could be an open possibility. Dallas is a team that's been rumored to go after Adams for numerous seasons now, a long time. The question with the Cowboys is, do they have enough money? And they right now have a situation with Dak Prescott where it would be unlikely that they welcome a move for Jamal Adams just because they need to fix their quarterback situation before they do anything else. The Texans are a team that desperately need a playmaker at the secondary level. They have Justin Reed at free safety, but strong safety-wise, Texans would really make sense. But they really don't have a lot of capital, picks-wise, to be able to make the move, so that kind of seems unlikely to me. Chiefs do make sense because they have, I believe, enough money if they were able to somehow move on from a Sammy Watkins or They have to figure out the Chris Jones situation. They could probably maneuver themselves into a move for Jamal Adams, and they have enough picks to be able to do that. It's just a matter of the future, Mahomes, and the guys that they want to keep around. Philadelphia Eagles definitely could make a move here because they're known for trading, known for being aggressive, and they do need as much secondary help as they could get. I mean, Darius Slay, they brought in. Nicole Roby-Coleman, they brought in. They lost Malcolm Jenkins. I think that is one of the more likely teams on this list of teams that Jamal Adams would like to go to. Makes sense to me. 49ers, I just don't think they have enough money. They are very talented already, and Jaquiski Tartt is not great, but I feel like he's good enough, serviceable enough. And for Seattle, I mean, Seattle is probably the team on this list that makes the most sense from a money situation, from a playmaker in need situation. He could replace the Cam Chancellor there. And I do believe I actually talked about this on my Patreon of destinations that I feel Jamal Adams could go to. I think I brought up Seattle. I think Detroit is a team that makes a lot of sense because they have a lot of money and they could always use secondary players because Patricia's looking for those. And I don't necessarily think their safety position is perfect or like solidified. I think the Bucs are a team that make a lot of sense because the Bucs have Todd Bowles, who worked with Adams before. I think in part drafted him. He fits the system. He performed there well, and they're in win now mode. They don't necessarily have all the money, but I think they could make that work. Who else? I'm really trying to think off the top of my head. Those are the teams that come up off the top of my head that weren't mentioned there. But we'll get to the comments and see if you guys have any opinions or thoughts on this. But those are my immediate thoughts. He's the best safety in the game. He'll transform a defense. But I don't think he's worth like multiple firsts or multiple picks. He's probably worth like a first-round pick, maybe a second and a third. He's a safety. He's not a corner. He's not an edge rusher. He's not an interior disruptor. He's a safety. And safeties are really not worth a lot right now in the league. They just have been devalued. And yes, Adams is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But it just doesn't seem like a lot of the smarter teams in the league are willing to pay a ton of money to safeties. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And a lot of those teams that were on the list for Adams, those are winning teams, winning franchises, very successful programs. So let's get to the comments, guys. If you're enjoying the chat, again, Gronk spike the like button. And if you're new, whatever, tuning in for the first time, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. All right, so Nicholas is in the chat. He says, what's up? Carpenter Kant says Seattle. Lex says Philly. The Sports Goat says, if Adams goes to Seattle, that would be lethal. I think if Adams were to go to Seattle, just to extend on that point by the Sports Goat, would be that I think they would be instantly in the discussion, if they're not already, for NFC contender, NFC Super Bowl contender. Nicholas says Jags, which I just don't think the Jags, one, I don't think Adams would like to go there, and two, it would be maybe even a worse situation that he is in New York, and two, I think with the Jags, I mean, like, would they want to make a move for Adams right now? They're kind of in rebuild mode, so I don't know. Mark says Jimmy G will have a tough time with that. Yeah, if he were to go to Seattle. FB Sports also says Eagles. Bullet Club says, yo, what's up? Kevin Erkant says he's going to Seahawks or Cowboys. Harris says, hi, what's up, Harris? Will says, I only care if he gets out of the division. And this is the first thing I think somebody brought up in the Discord chat. If you're not in the Discord chat, guys, join the Discord chat. Talk about NFL all day. We're talking about Adams right now, is he's not going to go to Miami. Like, people are like, he's going to go to Miami. Like, yeah, maybe they have the money, and maybe Flores would like to have him, and cool, it's probably a cool city for him to go to if I'm talking from a Jamal Adams standpoint, but, like, it's in the division. They're not going to trade him to New England. They're not going to trade him to Buffalo. They're not going to trade him to Miami. The closest would be like Baltimore that they're going to trade him to. It's not going to be in the AFC East. The Charm City Player says if Jamal Adams goes to Seattle, well, that means Clowney isn't coming back. That's correct. Ghost Skittle says Cowboys, Giants, or Bucks. Those are his get. What's up, Ghost Skittle? I haven't seen you in like a decade, man. What's up, man? Brian says Jamal to Chicago. I don't know, man. I feel like they've already spent so much of their capital of picks on like Khalil Mack and all these trades that I feel like that would not be the wisest for them, but that's just me. KB says the 49ers. Will says the Chiefs don't have the cap. Charm City Player says he's going with the Cowboys because Jerry Jones isn't getting any younger and he wants a Super Bowl now. Honestly, if Jamal Adams were to go to Dallas, they are instantly one of the top contenders. I mean, they have all the talent in the world. They have a better coaching staff now. Maximize this window. Go for it. If I'm Dallas, I'm going for it. The only problem with Dallas is if they can create the money to do so, and that's going to be an issue. Cardinals could get him. Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, they're an aggressive team right now, and they seem to be trying to get as many good players in there as possible. But the problem is, Budda Baker plays the same position as him. What else? Yeah, there's been rumors around the Cowboys for a while. Ariana says they have Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas plays free safety, though. So if they were to bring in a strong safety, I don't think it would affect Earl Thomas. I think it would actually only make Earl Thomas better because Earl Thomas could basically play the old free safety lurking position, and Jamal Adams would be his Cam Chancellor. James says, hey, Mitch, you going to the Patriots game in 2021 against the Bucs? I hope so. We'll see. That would be pretty cool. Kevin Cat says Cowboys need him, Texans need him, Eagles need him, 49ers aren't in the situation, and Seahawks need him. Harris says trade a first next year, a third this year, and Jordan Thomas plus Kelsey. What? What are you talking about, man? Todd says hit like. Thank you. Yeah, Gronk spike the like button, guys. Or Kelsey spike it, Kittle spike it. Do whatever you want. First, fourth, and Stills. That would probably get it done, to be honest. The Colts? Yeah, the Colts have the money, and that's a sleeper one. That's a good one, actually, Anthony. Colts are a good one because Malik Hooker is probably going to be gone after this year if he doesn't get traded, and he could even be in the trade. I think there's some of a connection there, I believe, with Douglas being a Philadelphia guy, Frank Reich being a Philadelphia guy. That would be the place that actually makes a lot of sense. That's a good one. I really like that one. And they need safeties. They need playmakers in the back end. So I agree. I like Tampa a lot too, Ghost Music. It's just a matter if they have enough money. Like if you have to look at they have to figure out the money situation, but all the logistics make sense. I'm actually surprised that Tampa wasn't on the list of teams that he wanted to go to in the first place. Maybe he just figures like long term, if Brady leaves, like the state of the franchise will be different, but I don't know. I don't think Broncos will be in. They just signed Simmons. Doesn't really make sense. Ravens got to play Lamar and Stanley. Yeah, they can sneak another guy in there after Earl comes off the books. Cleveland is a possibility because they still have money and they were willing to sign Jadeveon Clowney. So if they're willing to sign Jadeveon Clowney, I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to trade for Jamal Adams. Could the Lions pick him up? Yes, I think so. It's just a matter of how aggressive Quinn and Patricia want to be. And seeing as how they are on the hot seat right now, I think it would make sense for them to do that. Just bring in a great player. John says Adams to Seattle. Let's see it. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see great safeties back in Seattle. It just seems right. What's up? Her spike the like button. There you go, Ultra. Cleveland has the money. So let's actually take a look at teams that have the money and teams that I think like logistically make sense. We already went over a few of them there. There's some good suggestions by you guys. So I'm just going to look up the salary cap situation and see what we can do here. Because I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm going to be honest. So let's take a look. So there we are. Browns, Skins, Lions, Eagles, Jets. So right there off the top, Eagles are a team that make a lot of sense. Top of the list. They have the money. And he wants to go there. So if they want him, they can get him. Lions, they weren't on the list, but they have the money. Browns, again, have the most money in the league. And we just said, if they add an Adams, they're dangerous in the AFC. We talked about how if they add Clowney, but, you know, they already have the pass rushers. If they add Adams, that takes their secondary to a new level. I don't think the Skins will be in it because they just are not in win now mode or like anywhere close. The Colts have the money to do it. Bengals just signed a bunch of safeties, so it doesn't really make sense. Chargers have a bunch of safeties. They're not going to go there. Dolphins are in the division. Texans, they have the money, but they don't really have the picks. Jags, like we already discussed that. Bills, they're in the division. Titans, sneaky, but I don't think so because I think they like Kenny Vaccaro and they have Kevin Byard already. Broncos, Kareem Jackson is a little older, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but I doubt it. Giants, 16. I think they like their young safeties. See, the 49ers have $15 million. They have a little wiggle room there, and Seattle has 13. So let's just look at the teams that it would be tough. Like Patriots, that's not happening anyways. Buccaneers have $4 million right now. They would have to open up significant space for that to happen. The Rams, probably not. They're already like in trade pick mumbo jumbo. Steelers, they traded for Fitzpatrick. That's not happening. Chiefs, they just don't have enough money now or long term. Raiders are interesting, but I doubt it. They have a bunch of safeties now. They signed like a couple in free agency. The Saints, no, they have young safeties there. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and they have Marcus Williams. Cardinals, no, I don't think so. Like we brought up, I think Budda Baker's the same type of player, just not as good. Ravens, like we brought up, they have to sign multiple people. Like it could be sneaky, but Bears, no, I don't think they have the capital. And so I think we went over, like Cowboys are sitting in the sweet spot. They have $11 million. So I think the Cowboys could honestly make that work. I think the Cowboys, looking at the money now, I think they could make it work. They probably have to cut somebody or try to figure out some sort of extension for somebody or moving money into the future instead of now or whatever they need to do to make that work. I don't know how the financials work because I'm not a financial person, but, you know, it could work. It could work. So I'll stick around for a couple more minutes just taking last questions and thoughts, and then I'll get out of here. But this is interesting. If I had to give a prediction, I guess I should give like some sort of a prediction here. I think the Eagles are kind of standing out to me a little bit. The Eagles and one of those sneaky teams. If the Colts finally have the testicles to lift on the table and just plant on the table and say, we want to make a move, and we have Phillip Rivers, I think the Colts could make sense. It's just a matter of if Jamal Adams would allow that to happen, given that they weren't on the list. Same to do with the Browns. I think that team as well. Like the two sleepers are the Colts and the Browns, in my opinion. And the teams that were on the list, I think Cowboys or Seahawks are the two clear favorites. So that's kind of the four teams that I think could happen. Turtle. Ghost Skittles says his prediction is Dallas, and his sleeper team is the Giants, maybe Tampa. Goat the Vikings says Ngakwe and picks for Adams. What would Denver need to put in for Adams? I think it would be draft picks. Maybe maybe, I don't know. I guess they don't really have the receiver because they're all kind of young. Maybe the Jets would be willing to take some sort of offensive lineman or receiver or even corner or edge player for Adams in the deal. Like if the Eagles were willing to get rid of one of their defensive linemen, then potentially, or put in one of their corners for depth and like a first. All right. I think I'm going to end it here, though. Had a good discussion, I feel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, again, Gronk spike the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL cornerback list, top 20, edge player list, top 20, coming out in the next 2 days. I just filmed them. I just recorded them, so I just got to get to editing. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content. So for the past few weeks and months, been ramping it up lately and continuing to ramp it up. Let's get to 25K quick here. I want to get to 25K at least, around the start of July. That would be awesome. If you guys can help me out, that would be amazing. But Jamal Adams on the move, requested a trade. We'll see where he goes, and I'll be here to react live when it happens. So make sure you come back. If it does happen, I'll be here first with the reaction and the news. It's Mitch. Peace.